Hello and welcome to another painting video. Today we're going to be painting the Gundam from the Heroic Beginnings set. And it's going to start our Gundam painting. If you're curious about how to paint these and you're not sure, in the instruction booklet it came with a little handy kind of paint guide where you can kind of see how to paint them. And they have the color codes, and these color codes correspond to Acroson Gundam Assemble colors. I guess that's somewhere, but it's usually like Tamiya paints is how they paint these things in real life. So what we have though is a pretty good approximation, is because I've been looking at Gundams forever and all that kind of stuff. So what I've got here is far red. I got an AK deep red. I also grabbed a deep blue, and for the white I got an off-white, because it's not like pure white usually. And then we got like this basalt gray for like the joints and stuff, and those colors will probably get you pretty close. I also got this flat yellow from Vallejo, and that'll get you 90% of the time with Gundams. So I think what we're going to do for the first thing is we're going to take our off-white and we're going to do a dry brush over the entire thing, just to kind of get a good base coat of the armor and give us a spot to kind of start from. And it'll kind of keep our lights, whoops. The palette's a little wet right now. Maybe this wasn't shaken up very good. Okay, so we're gonna get our dry brush, load it up with paint here, and get most of it off. And then we're gonna hit the areas that are gonna be white. Try to keep it going one direction, because we want to maintain those panel lines. Panel lines are very important to Gundams, because it shows you like that cool technicalness of the paint of the armor. And this is like by no means like even close to, like, we're not gonna leave it like this, don't worry. But this is gonna give us like a base. Of kind of where we want the paint to go. So just hit that. Then we get the arms. We're avoiding the chest because the chest does not get the white on it. It's a different color, so just avoiding that for now. But the head does get it. And get parts of the backpack. And we can get the shield. We might as well, because the sides of the shield have it. So let's just get that. And that's going to be a good starting point for the white for us. So now that we have that kind of outlined for us, we're gonna go and we're gonna get the really dark areas first, the black areas. So that's like the joints of the mobile suit itself. What is this? Oh, I got some new brushes and I was like, what did I buy? And I opened it and I was like, oh, that's a really small brush. so we're gonna get this, and then we're gonna get our basalt gray for our darks. Also, if you're not sure what's what on the model, you can always look at that reference that they gave you in the little instruction booklet. We'll have it like right there so we can reference it if we need to. Okay, so let's get our brush here, and then we're gonna get these like indents right here. So I have this big old spot right here. Never used AK paints before, so this is gonna be my first time using them. So review to come shortly after. We're gonna get the entire hand here. We'll also get the beam rifle. Get the hand. We can also get the inside of the shield here. Well, if you remember, when we did this, we made the shield separate for this reason, so that we could paint it how we needed to, and not have to paint other sections. So let's just set that down there for a second so that can dry. Get the hand that we can, and we'll come back to the beam rifle here. We're avoiding the plate on the hand here. Don't want to paint that. And we can get the top of these little joints here. They're kind of exposed. Let's get those little spots, and then the very bottom of the neck there. And then you can see it right here. There's just like a little top part right there. And that's gonna be it for the darks. So now it's going to be beneficial to go just to the white, because that's going to be most of this model is white. So make sure you get it nice on your brush. And then we'll just, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the panels here, and we're just going to start trying to smoothly apply the first coat, because this is definitely probably going to need multiple coats. And we're gonna move down slightly, and if you want to try and preserve those dark areas, that would be beneficial. So try to keep those dark areas as our panel lining for these bits. Because like I said, the panel lines are pretty important to the whole thing. But also, we can also do other things. Like if this spot right here is a little extra, we can just cover it, it's fine. We have other tools in our box to take care of this stuff. Ooh. As I'm going here, I'm noticing that we missed a gray spot, and that's this part right here. So we'll just get that really quick. Well, and technically, the whole backpack. So. Let's just get the backpack. Put it up there. Okay, go back to the weight. And we're just gonna keep getting this guy coated. I'm only painting that white because it's not, I know it's not white normally, but it'll help the yellow paint stick to it if it's white. These are the panel lines you want to save the most, the ones on the legs. So if you're careful only on one part of it, maybe make that part be the legs. So I know painting white is not the most exciting thing in the world for painting. So I'm sorry. That's what most of this is. So you can see the paint's looking a little clunky on some of this, so definitely gonna have to fix some of this. But for now, we're just gonna keep pushing forward like this is going perfectly, even though it is not. Let's get this leg covered in all the white. Definitely gonna need more coats of this. So we're gonna go to the arm here. It is here. Get the top of the hand there. I'll go to the head. Just trying to be pretty careful in here. But it's gonna be a bit of a mess till we get to the other steps. So just gonna have to make sure we get a good white coat on and then be okay with that. Be okay with whatever happens to the rest of the face for now. Trying to thin out this paint a little bit more. Just trying to get good, decent coverage where you don't see all these streaks on the model. And we get that by doing thin coats. It's those 2 thin coats that everyone talks about. We're gonna have to fix that, some of those areas in a moment. So we're just gonna come in here. Keep moving the brush. To all these areas. Clean it up, clean it up. Sorry, I'm very intensely painting this model right now. Like, I want it to look good. Not that I don't want my other models that I paint on this channel to look good, but Love Gundam. I mean, not this Gundam as much, but the idea of it. So then we're gonna take our shield and we're gonna get the outline painted. See which way does the shield go? Goes like that. All right, let's just put the shield back on at this point. So that and then just get the inside edge of the shield here. Okay. Now let's go back to our gray color just to clean up some of those areas that we hit there that we don't want to have this color on. It's not that many spots. We're just looking at the hands, making sure that they're clean. And then the backs here, making sure those are clean. And the top here, we're good. Oh, and we got the gun. I also got this part here I forgot about right there. Okay. So now the other big bulky part of this model is going to be the blue. So we're gonna get our deep blue out, give it a good shake. And that's gonna be like the big chest piece of this guy. So just giving it a good shake. And you can probably get away with like an ultramarine blue too if you want to. But this is the blue that I chose for this model. So we're avoiding this neck area because that neck area is yellow. So we're just getting all that. Get along the side here. I'm going to get along the side of the vents. Like under here. And there. But the vents are also yellow, so try to preserve those as the best you can. Because blue and yellow make green if they touch, so if you don't want to have to put a ton of coats on stuff, then try to avoid hitting it. Just get here. And that should be all the blue on this guy. Just go through and just check, make sure it's staying on good. The blue, black, and white look pretty tight just by itself. But now we go to red. Get our deep red. Give this a really good shake. And we're gonna be getting the rest of the spots. Not really a ton of spots, just like a little bit of area. Just on this waist here. I'm going to be very careful with this paint. You can see, like, even though that it's not, we didn't do the best job on the model, once you get all these colors together, it kind of sells it and does the work for you. Now, I'm not saying do a bad job, but it all kind of turns out if you just trust the process. And we're definitely gonna have to fix in there. Definitely. So there's our red on there. Now we just gotta get the feet. So the feet are just like this little area. It's right there. You can see the separation in person of the areas. So we're just favoring the bottom, getting it onto the base if we have to. We also have to fill this with red right there. We need to get that red. We also have the chin and a little spot in the eyes that we have to get also. So stay tuned for that, because that's not going to be fun, I can tell you that, just by looking at it. So I would say maybe when my initial instinct of keeping the heads not glued on might have been the correct call to make, because it is pretty small in there. Okay, now we got to get the shield, which is most of this thing. Might be easier to redo the white than to perfectly put on this red, especially since it's like mixing weird on my palette right now. Don't really know what's going on with it. So we have to definitely let that dry a lot before we go and attack that some more. But do have some darker spots here that we can clean up. All right, let's see if we can get the eyes and shit right now. All right, let me get my old man glasses. And I have a 000 brush. Don't know if it's any good. Definitely doesn't feel very good, like the bristles. Okay, so it's like no red paint on this brush. Come on. I don't want it to just fall off like water. I'm try putting it in a different part of the palette that's not super wet or whatever the hell's going on with that. Okay. Take 2. Okay. Oof. Okay, we're gonna have to clean that up for sure. But we got it on there. We got it where it needed to be. But we need it to dry first before we can attack that nonsense, because that head is very small in there. So the white is still drying. Not the white, the red. Let's get back to our white, our off-white color. And just go over some spots here. We gotta clean that up. Where's the spot that I saw that I was like, oh, I need to clean that? I mean, the face, obviously, but we're not there right now. We can probably, let me see if we can get away with this. Clean up this right now. Okay. That's good. There we go. Okay, let's move to the yellow. I mean, we can't do all the yellow because the shield's still drying, but now if you know me, you know my history with yellow paint, and I hate it so much, but we're gonna see if this yellow paint is better or worse or whatever. So let's get that. Yellow on our brush here, and then we're going to hit our yellow spots, which is going to be this, that, that. I was gonna hit the beam sabers. That's what I was gonna do. Well, so we might have to go back over with the blue, but it's best to get these in there, and then the neck. God. You can see me like hesitating on this, like I don't want to go. Alright, it's gonna be best just to go over the blue again instead of dealing with that noise, because I hate it. Let me get the just get that clean right there. Let me get my brush dry and soak up all that water that's happening in there. I don't know what that's, I guess my brush was too wet. And then want the front of that. And we also want the eyes, but you saw what happened last time we went in there. But let's see if we can do it with our regular eyes without, ooh, it's teeny in there. We got one. I don't know if you can see it, but we definitely got it. Now this one is going to be a little bit harder. Maybe just ignore it. If you get in there and you see that it's like already like too hard, then you can give up. You can be like, nope, we're not doing that. So we're gonna, oop, I don't know why it's painting with yellow. Went into the white paint. Okay. We'll take our white paint here and we are going to clean up the face. Where all that red got. Go back into the white here to get the beam sabers. Then we'll go back to the red and continue putting this together. Okay. And now that that's, oh, yeah, how to smell that. So we got to do yellow again. So there's a little like on this crotch piece right here. See a little symbol. It's like a downward V. It's right there. Okay, now we're gonna go back into that blue and clean up all of this. That got everywhere. And reline the outsides there. Okay, and then now we're going to take a black wash, non-oil, and we're going to hit this guy. That's going to give us a lot of the dark areas. It's going to give us hopefully a good look to the model And then all this like streaks and stuff won't matter as much at this point. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So let's just get that in there. And we hit the model. Just be careful of where it's pooling and fish it out if you need to. Just take it with your brush. Just kind of damp it, like, not damp it off, stamp it off. And then pick up anywhere that it's pooling that you don't want it to pool. Like, on like the back of things and stuff like that. So we're gonna hit the whole thing. So we're gonna go over the whole model. Just, it's a little heavy right now, but you can always take it off with your brush. Just stab your brush off and get it in those areas that are pooling, and just pull it away from those areas. Mostly like the flat spots you want to keep flat. But you see what it did to like the lines right here? Really highlighted those for us. We want to take it off the back there. You can let it pool on these a little bit just to give them a little bit more definition. It's a way of cheating our paints a little bit. Let's just get there. Okay. Now we get the gun. Ooh, a little way too much on there. Just get it off these like high points here. Ooh, we're hitting red from something. And oh, I actually dipped it into I had some wet paint on my paper towel here. So we want to pull that off with like a super dry brush. Just pick it up off there. Re-hit the top here just to make sure. Something for the arm and inside of the shield here, the whole chest. I'm just dabbing it away as we go to keep it from pooling in those areas that we don't want. Maybe a bit a lot in here, so you just gotta tilt it out. And then we get the whole face here. As well as this. We can get this just to add the shadows to the thing, but we're not done with it yet. And we're gonna pull away from the face just a bit. Pull away from there. We got some pooling on there that we don't want. Same here, we don't want it on the flat spots. Oh shit, I did it again. It's like just red paint on my fucking palette, and not my palette, my drying cloth, and I keep hitting it. So what you can do now at this point is go in and kind of edge highlight areas. Just give them more color than other areas. And that's gonna help them, like the edges, kind of stand out. Especially like top of here, top of there. Get like the V fin there. But what we really want to do is we want to go make sure that this is good. Which, I mean, it looks pretty decent. Didn't mess it up too bad. Okay. Try not to touch it with your fingers as well, because it's gonna get all this off here. Trying to prevent the pooling in those weird spots that we don't want. And then we can go to our yellow just for our last final bit. I hope it doesn't flow into this whole thing because it's not completely dry yet, but I just blew on it to make sure it would stick. There we go. We get the Federation symbol there. And that's what we're gonna call it for the Gundam. We had a little rocky there for a while, but I think it turned out pretty good. I think we can put some of this wash in here. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one where we paint the next model in this line. Yeah.